Today, this is just as simple as can be. Of course, you know this has tender bones all over it, right? This is the cheesesteak, right? And in case you want to see, look, he's showing his too. Look, you see that red light when it comes on? That one only have a red light on, but we know, all right, where it is. So we're gonna get it. Look, so again, guys, this is a perfect day. And I'm going to tell you why this is a perfect day. Tonight, the Eagles are playing football. Now, listen, I know I have the I won't say Cowgirls. Okay, I said it anyway. I don't know how I managed to say that. But listen, I know we have the Cowboys fans, and we have those Giants fans, and we have those, all of you guys out there, Redskins. But you know that Chef Bones is definitely a Eagles kind of guy. Always have been. Never have I ever known any other team. I've only had one team in the existence of my living to this day, and it has been the Eagles. All right? I support. Okay, now look. You guys have to look over there at this guy right here. This guy right here, he is the one. Hey, Jim, why don't you tell them what you've been doing while I fix up my cheesesteak? They got a nice little viewing picture of you right here. All right?
You have the jersey, but I have Mr. Cheesy wearing his jersey, and I probably just hit the mic and screeched everybody's ear. The cheesesteak life. I started doing some clothes. I figured we eat cheesesteaks, we argue about cheesesteaks, so I started a clothing line centered around Mr. Cheesy, everybody's favorite cheesesteak mascot, and I have him doing. Well, he's out being his cheesy self, but I also have him doing four different things. One of which is being a cheesy Eagles fan. Right? He's at the link, tailgating at the link. He's got his favorite number 62 jersey on.
Ah.
You're being politically correct, so I'm not going to say Kelsey because I don't want you to get sued. But he's got his 62 jersey on. He has his Dallas Sucks hat on, even though we're trying to be polite to the Cowboy fans out there. And, yeah, clothes. And then I was lucky enough a couple weeks ago to get the cheesesteak cup. And carrying my little buddy around, made of nice metal so I can drink plenty of beer out of them. And today I'm going to be drinking my Mike.
But I'm going to tell you this. Tenderbones is not open today to do any cheesesteaks, right? And it's only because we're closed on every Monday, right? So Mondays we're closed. You know how that goes. So we're just going to have an awesome conversation here about what's going on. And this guy's going to tell us a little bit about his cheesesteak adventures while we sit here and eat. Look, guys, I'm all over the place. We're going to just go ahead and eat a little bit. We're going to take a few minutes to do this, and then we're going to actually go over to the chairs and have a conversation. Tips to you, buddy.
Tips to you, buddy.
Okay.
The closed on Monday, except for the cheesesteak guy. It's like you came out of retirement to cook for me. I appreciate you bringing us great cheesesteaks as always. Nice and cheesy. Trying to keep it off my shirt.
You go right ahead, man, because you know what I'm doing.
Are you leaving us on so you're talking? You want me to talk like you?
You can go, yeah, you can go. No, you can go ahead, man. You can get it in. I forgot which one I was biting off of. You go ahead. I tell you what, I went over and I whipped this up for you so that we can have it down. Guys, honestly tell you that, with you being such an expert on cheesesteaks, You see, because I understand why you're an expert on cheesesteaks. Because you ate a whole lot of them. Tell these folks how many cheesesteaks you had.
I'm up to 1,174 different ones.
1,174 different cheesesteaks.
Different.
I'm trying to figure out how is it even possible to have 11?
So darn good. After having them. It's, they're like deer. They're hiding everywhere in plain sight. I have a go-to list that I
Hey!
checked around. I have 500, I probably have a list of 500 places that people send me messages saying I have to try to go to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 11 here, Bear, Delaware.
1,100 cheesesteaks?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. How is it even possible? I mean, you do look good. Now,
Thank you very
I
much.
gotta say though, when I first met you, you had a little tummy, right? But now you're just this little guy right now. And I'm like, what's going on? I can eat 1,100 of these things and be this little guy.
Well, thank you very much. I don't know. The scale doesn't think I'm that little. But, no, it's funny. It's, being on the adventures taught me to watch what I eat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, portion control, and when I'm not eating cheesesteaks or leftover cheesesteaks, you know, salads and grapes and bananas and whatnot. And it's always, you know, I have two daughters.
Two daughters.
Two daughters, and so when they were little and we go out to dinner, it was always, I would always order last because I knew I was getting 3 leftovers. You know, so I would wait till everybody's orders, order something different. I'd eat my meal and all theirs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny, it's like the Noom commercial. I'd watch this Noom commercial. It was like, what kind of eater are you?
Mm-hmm.
And I was a can't leave anything on the plate kind of eater.
Okay.
And because of the adventure, I've completely swung over, and now I take home everything, anything, if I don't want to take a last bite. Sometimes the next day I pull out my leftover tin, and it's like, why on earth would you leave like half a bite of
Oh, something there, right?
you know, something small? So, yeah, I have no problem stopping and saving and eating it. But the problem is the next day, though, sometimes I'm thinking, oh, I got leftovers, and I open up the tray and it's like not much leftovers.
Not much of it?
It's kind of like, oh man, what'd I do? And this is,
You really drink out of your cup.
oh yeah, I really do.
Oh my gosh.
The worst part
Okay.
is, I don't know what to tell you. Well, I guess I could tell you. I don't clean it very often. I
Would you like me to go clean that for you? Because
No,
I
I figure
would.
the alcohol.
Oh, it's the alcohol
I
content.
figure the
will take
alcohol
care of
will
it.
kills all the germs. My
You
mom,
guys are witnessing this right now, that he absolutely does drink out of his cup. Yeah, you know, I tell you what, Don Juan,
Ah,
look, I tell you what, Don Juan, eat your heart out with your crystal cup with your diamonds in it. Just eat your heart out, because this man has his own trophy that was presented to him that he drinks out of. Can I cheers with you? Woo! Let's go.
absolutely. When I first got it, I had to do a test drink,
Mm-hmm.
and
Excuse me.
yeah, we had a little leak problem, so I had to do a little repair to it,
Mm.
and then I had to do a little test to make sure my repair wasn't toxic. So I drank from it and then sat by my phone. Had my daughter's number programmed in all day.
Just in case, right?
Just in case I had to.
Your face starts getting big and you're trying to figure out, am I allergic to something in here?
Exactly.
I get it.
Swollen or not.
I'm just like, bro. So far, how many places have this trophy gone to so far?
I just got it recently, but it's 10-ish.
10-ish? So I still feel privileged that it's here, you know?
Oh, you're top 10.
Top 10?
Absolutely
Oh, come
top 10.
on. Oh,
Absolutely
come
top 10. Absolutely top 10.
Oh my gosh, speaking of top
Even-
10, look, okay, so I know that a lot of you understand how we went famous with just a good tasting cheesesteak. I get it, but this gentleman came along and I think we were at 18,000 just sold by word of mouth before it got over to him. Is that about right? 18,000 or so? What's your earliest number?
That's okay, Tim.
Yeah? It's about 18 or so?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. See,
I'll fact check tonight.
you'll fact check tonight. And he'll keep you guys posted on your YouTube and our Facebook and all that. All right, so listen. So we were at 18,000. And then he came along and tried one of our Chef Philly cheesesteaks. And when I tell you, we had a bump in about 3,000 to 4,000 cheesesteaks in 1 week. In 1 week. Remember that crazy time? All the lines out the door and what was going on. Everyone wanted to come. They nicknamed it the 3-pound cheesesteak. Most massive is what I think you named it. But we were able to go number one with that cheesesteak, and everyone wanted to just taste it. So we got it. We got attention from Alaska, California, Washington, St. Louis. I mean, they were flying in from everywhere, and they were literally talking about the cheesesteak. And yes, it was because this guy that ate 1,100 cheesesteaks. Well, at the time, I don't know if it was 1,100 then.
There's a lot less back then.
Right. But this guy was talking about this cheesesteak, and this guy is right here. And I don't want to spill it all because we are going to sit down and we're going to actually talk a little bit after we get some meat. But I want you to get something on your belly, right?
Right.
And they don't really mind watching us eat a little bit. I know they don't. And just in case somebody has something to say about it, I'm going to go and look and see what's going on. So we got folks liking it. Wow, hey, folks are saying hello. All right, just look, you can wave now. They can see you if you wave now. Say, hey, what's up?
I'll remind myself to take small bites.
All right, so look, guys. Hey, what's up, Wendy Johnson? Wendy. Wow, who would ever think that I would have a Wendy behind a Wendy? And this, I'm not making this up, guys. I got Wendy Hughes Johnson. Hello to you. Wendy Ramirez, Victoria Williams, John. Hey, what's going on, you guys? How are you? You guys are looking good. Susan, how are you doing? Mike, what's up, Mike? You guys, I know you're going to be bouncing in and out of here while I go ahead and do my thing, right, with my guest here. And y'all don't see her, but she's in the background. That old wonderful behind-the-scenes person. Tarana, she's back there, and she's just probably just looking over things. I don't know, but she looks comfortable, don't she? You want your cheesesteak?
I'll wait.
It's right there. I set it all up for you.
Thank you. I'll go get it.
Yep, I set it all up for you. Your cheesesteak is through that door and to your right, and you won't miss a thing.
Thank you.
All right? And if you want to go out that door, you can go out that door. It might be easier.
Okay.
We got so many doors in here, right? And so many doors. Look, I'm going to show you. Y'all missed it, but he was over there grubbing, right? Look, he was getting it in. We got some attention here. What do you think? All right, so
I took a full advantage.
without being biased or anything, I'm gonna tell you guys, he's already reviewed our cheesesteaks. He's probably eaten I don't know how many of these things, but he's reviewed, and every last one of them have been topped, and I definitely appreciate that. It was awesome to have people come down from all over Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, and all across the United States just because of the interaction we got. And, I want you guys to come on out and try it. I wish I was able to make it for you tonight for the game, but you understand that's not happening. But this guy right here, he's putting it in.
Not to
I gotta
rub
keep-
it in, but I'll be eating it. It's funny as you're talking about it, I was wondering, I was thinking, back then there was a lot less cheesesteaks, and I don't have any relatives from Washington that would have come down. And so I don't think I got you any airtime
Well,
in Washington.
It was a ripple effect, though. It was like,
up in Ripple effect, but you were killing it, and it's people were going to find you. I never take, I eat them. People always ask me, oh, I get messages once in a while saying, oh, I'm going to open a food truck, I'm going to do this, or what kind of meat should I use? What can I do? I said, my skill set is
eating, huh?
I can eat it and tell you if I like it. And because I have had so many, I know a little bit in detail what I like. And
Okay.
can say it's the crispy roll, it's this cheese mixture content, or that kind of thing. So it's definitely, 1100, I've definitely learned something, but I don't know
Okay.
what.
Oh, well, try. I mean, let's tell the
It's,
guys, give them a little bit of what you think you've learned.
It's well, it's funny. I try to focus on the positive. I don't like writing bad reviews. I
Okay.
did early on one time. I went to a neighborhood bar
Mm-hmm.
up in Upper Chichester, and they had just renovated. So I said in my review, boy, the renovations look great.
Mm-hmm.
TVs everywhere.
Right.
Bartender was named Jim. Jim was great. Good to meet a Jim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I didn't really talk about the cheesesteak. The cheesesteak got one of my lowest scores. And
Mm.
someone online was like, oh, you're a fraud.
Whoa.
I went to this place and it wasn't that good. It's like, well, you got to look at the score I gave it.
Right,
you know?
right.
So it was easy to talk. It was easy to say great things about what you were doing, are doing, still do.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was a great time. It was easy, and it was going to be caught on. People, and like you said, the people. Once the people came from far and wide and ate it and told other people,
Right.
it was all them. So
Well,
it
listen,
was you.
Jim, you have to understand lesson, and it's in the air and it comes flowing down, and it starts. And I believe, I don't know about you. I don't really talk religion or anything. I don't even talk politics because I want to stay friends, right? Right. So, with that being said, I'm a believer in a higher power, and I believe that. I'm locked in, and I believe that God brings people along, and they put them in your life for a reason. We had no idea. As you can see, these cheesesteaks are not on the menu. I had no desire to even carry cheesesteaks. But, if it wasn't for Miss Melba out of Philadelphia in the 70s that I used to visit, right? She did this. So, right? So it's
Right.
relative. So, you have some folks that were in South Philly, North Philly, and so on that would easily go to their locations. But I went into the hood. I needed a sandwich that was cooked by this lady who always said, "How you doing? How you doing?" to everybody. And I couldn't wait for her to say how she was doing to me. And, my father, when I was young, when he would take us up to Market Street and all that, to the movies and everything, the one stop would be to Miss Melba's. And all she did was, she did peppers and onions and meat. I don't even know if it was true steak, because I was so young. And all I wanted was the experience of being with someone who loved everyone, who made something taste so good on my special day. My special day may have come maybe once every 6 months, but when it came, I was ready for it. Pop would come in town, Daddy, come and scoop me up and just take me. And it was awesome.
Nice.
That's just one of the memories. So it was a no-brainer for me to make a Chef Philly cheesesteak in the memory of Miss Melba, right? Because she was old in the 70s. Right? So, and that memory, just the way that you saw her making it with she would do the onions, peppers, and everything else. And that was her cheesesteaks in Philly, had just the steak and the meat. And then they started putting onions in it and so on. Well, peppers and onions are not, but it's relative to your history. So, You get these arguments of folks saying, "Oh, there's no onions in it," or "There's no peppers in it," and all these questions. And some of you are as you may be as old as I am, and have a memory there where you go like, "Oh yeah, that's right." Back then, it was relative to where you got your steak sandwich from, your steak. It was peppers, meat, onions, and with cheese. And it wasn't no cheese whiz or whiz. It wasn't any of that. All we knew then was American cheese, believe it or not. We weren't provolone, even though the other side of town, I heard, was using provolone. Provolone was a more expensive type of cheese that was encouraged by other locations. And unfortunately, it was not my history. So I am not one of those that, will talk about provolone being on a cheesesteak, even though I like it. Now, how many provolone cheesesteaks have you had?
Very few.
Very few?
Very few.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't. I want to circle back to my version of the story you just told.
Okay.
Provolone? No, I didn't have many provolone cheesesteaks. I grew up in the suburbs, and we always had American cheese. So
Okay. Mm-hmm.
is that different cheeses taste different? Like,
Okay.
There's different cheeses. Some are really. And I didn't expect there to be a big difference in them. And so the first time I added provolone on a cheesesteak, I labeled it my new recreational cheese.
Oh, okay.
That was my introduction of provolone, and that different cheeses actually do taste and different, have a different consistency. But it was funny from you talking about your dad coming in and going for your special day. My dad was supposed to come see us every Saturday.
Okay.
He wasn't real good about that. So the Saturdays he did show up, and he did want a cheesesteak, we would go to Claymont Steaks.
Oh, in Delaware.
And, yeah, he grew up in Chester with the original owners. So
That's
yeah,
where
we
you
were,
guys
we were
went.
going to Claymont, and at the time, it was a half-hour ride.
Okay.
So it was like a big deal. We found out much later that we got cheesesteaks when he was hungover, but that's a footnote. But so it was a big deal. But the side story of that was he lived in Philly, and one day when I was little, and my dad didn't yell at us in public,
Okay.
and he wouldn't yell at us in public. It was he'd get out of the situation, and then you were in trouble later.
Right.
And so we were I was in Philly, I was meeting him, my sisters weren't there, it was just me. And he goes, we'll get cheesesteaks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, I'm young, and I'm thinking, wow, that must be in a really good mood if we're going to drive all the way to Claymont to get cheesesteaks.
Right, right.
So I'm like, wow, he must be in a good mood. And we went to Jim's on South Street.
Mm.
And I'm like, I thought I was in trouble.
Mm.
I'm like, why am I here with all this shiny stuff and these pictures? Like, he's pointing to pictures on the wall, and I'm like, I have no idea who these people are. I'm
Right.
a little kid. And I'm like, where do we order? And it's just, I thought I was in trouble. I thought something happened between him saying, let's get cheesesteaks, and ending up at Jim's. And so the whole time, I'm thinking, holy mackerel. I was afraid to leave with him because he was going to, when we got into the car alone, I thought I was in trouble going to find out what I did.
Wow.
So it's funny how it's that memories. And so I grew up with Claymont Steaks, and as so we ate them all through high school. I ended up moving to North Wilmington, went to junior high and high school there.
Okay.
And so Claymont Steaks was what we grew up on. It was, back then a really good cheesesteak. And
How do they? You said back then. How's Claymont now? I mean,
not the same.
it's not the same as back then.
Not the same.
Okay.
Could it be because of I was a lot smaller, so they looked a lot bigger?
Yeah.
They're definitely not the same. But the whole adventure story,
Mm-hmm.
because she was my new best friend at the time. Now she's my ex-new best friend.
She's your ex-new best friend.
And I refer to her as the face that launched 1,000 cheesesteaks.
Oh.
But so when I had met her, we knew we wanted to do something together. We didn't
Okay.
know what. We didn't want to just go to a movie or go sit in a restaurant, chat politely. We wanted to do something. And Claymont Steaks had a special place in each of our hearts.
Okay.
She grew up around the corner from Claymont Steaks, and every Saturday, she had older brothers. Every Saturday, her job was to call, order their cheesesteaks, and then go pick them up.
Okay.
She still has the phone number memorized, the Claymont Steaks. Like if you say Claymont Steaks,
Watch out.
302-64, she rattles up the phone number.
Wow.
So we decided that was going to be our thing. Was we'd go eat cheese. We'd find, we'd ask family and friends where their favorite cheesesteak is, and then go try them, and then find something to do. So that was the idea. When I actually started eating cheesesteak, had my first official cheesesteak. Well, I figured out Claymont Steaks as my first official cheesesteak. She and I weren't talking at the review.
All right, so with that thought, guess what we're going to do? I'm going to transition you over to your seat, right? While I do my little monologue. You go ahead and get comfortable.
Because
All right.
I can't talk over here.
Nah, you can talk over
This is my
there.
silent seat.
Nah, you can talk over there. You're fine. You're
being
fine.
punished?
You're not being punished. Listen, we are talking about other cheesesteaks. We're talking about other things, and we're talking about other possibilities. We're not here rating any. We're not rating any cheesesteaks
Thank you.
or anything like that. We're not doing that. But what we are going to do is just have some fun and just talk about, what is absolutely going on. We're going to talk some Eagles football. Do you have your drink with you? You got your cup?
I do.
No, you got your cup. I'm going to come on over to, guys, hey, as I come on over to my seat, I'm going to make my way. You guys are going to see him. And guess what? Here we go. Oh, wait a minute. That was Rhonda. There you go. All right. There we go. I got you guys. Here we go. No worries. No worries at all. All right. Here we go. Now we got his shot. He's in, and I'm coming over to the seat. So guess what? They're looking at you, guy.
Nice.
Yeah, they're all looking at you.
Let me get my glasses off. Let me try and show Mr. Cheesy wearing his Eagles jersey, number 62. Some guy that retired last year.
Mm.
Actually, it'd probably be good for ratings if we get sued by Jason Kelsey for saying that Mr. Cheesy's wearing his favorite Kelsey jersey, tailgating at the link.
Oh, boy.
This is quite a setup you have.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I enjoy what we do here and how we have it. I'm going to bring out the hot mics. Hot mics are done.
Could pop it off.
Yeah. Hot mics
Yeah.
are finished. I'll take it. There you go.
If you had a little screen here, I could have done a costume change on my way to my new seat.
A costume change to your seat. I don't think so.
This is like NFL. It's like real network TV where you have different stages and different.
Woo! I'm in my game spirit. My game spirit. Let me get all plugged in here. This is just so much fun for me. All
It
right.
has to be for all this equipment you have. I mean, this
It's
isn't.
his.
This isn't. It's a labor of love to have all this stuff and know how it all works.
Well, we've been.
That's my biggest takeaway today is you are multi-talented.
Well, thank you. I tell you, it's we've been able to produce and do a lot of different things here, and when it's those things that we're able to do, I get to be, I'm just able to show folks, and being able to put things out there for everyone to be able to view. And say hi, Ty. Look, Ty, go ahead. You might as well say hi, Ty. I could have switched it over to hide her, but I knew she was coming. Right? So I knew she was coming.
Did it on purpose.
Yep. Ty, can you shut this door for me right here?
Absolutely.
All right. Good. She wasn't actually in it. She just doesn't, I got her. I was switched on the right one. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Now we are back in. Now, and if I want to be smart, I can get her in. Look.
See you.
If I want to be smart, but if you make that cheesesteak look good and you overeating it, you might just be on. Look, what do they call them? We call them the muck. What are they? Muck videos?
Mukbang.
Mukbang videos. Hey guys, here I am. All right, here I am, right here, guys. Once it locks in, hopefully it focuses in on me. It will at some. Come here, get my nose, get my nose. All right. Look, guys. I am in great company right now, and I am enjoying the space that I'm in right now. When I tell you that I have a high regard for this gentleman that's right here with me, I really do. He just makes it like it's a wonderful situation to just do what I do. You know, he came through and he says to me, "Listen, we are going to just you don't know this, but I came in and I had your cheesesteak." And I'm like, "Really?" And he said it was good. And again, I was like, "Really?" Not knowing who he was. And then before you know it, I'm seeing things. And all of a sudden there's competitions. There's, you know, we're in this game. We're going head to head. We have lines all over the place. And people are just there for these sandwiches. But I also have to put credit where credit is due. Now, all of this happened and it came in to play because my Eagles, I don't know about yours, but my Eagles won the Super Bowl. And they did me proud during a time where we're here. You know, I'm an Eagles fan. Here's this cheesesteak. Oh my gosh, they won. I'm going to make you 3 of the best cheesesteaks you ever had. It was, believe it or not, it was the chef one, it was fried onions, and it was a mushroom cheesesteak. Just 3, right? I only said I was going to make 3. Get it? Just 3, not 3. You know, you come and get mushroom cheesesteaks. I was only supposed to make 3 cheesesteaks. And 3 people were going to get these cheesesteaks, and they were a celebration cheesesteak just because they won the Super Bowl. Well, and this 3 people were like, "Well, I want a cheesesteak. I want a cheesesteak. I want a cheesesteak." I'm only making 3, guys. You know, when I'm getting this big old I want a cheesesteak thing going on. Well, here comes the parade. So all my employees, and at that time there was 27 employees. I don't have 27 employees anymore. Times have changed, right? But there was 27 employees, right? And they all wanted to go to the parade. That meant I couldn't go to the parade because I wanted to keep the store open because it was a special time because of the cheesesteaks and the Super Bowl, and it's just a special time. So my wife said, you know, she'll come over and work it with me. And she did. We opened up the store and we did 128 cheesesteaks. So 128 buying customers came back from the parade and they bought cheesesteaks. So get your numbering. See how the numbering works, right? It's like 128 people came back from the parade from the start of 3 of the wonderful things there. And they came back for 128 cheesesteaks. And from that point on, guess what that number, what is that, 128? What's the number on your box back there? Let's see, she's on camera. What's the number of the box?
Like it's 128,637.
128,600 and what?
37.
637.
Well, these 2 is 38 and 39.
Oh, okay. So that would be the 2 that we had back there, huh? Wow. Look at that. And you came in around 17,000.
That 128 is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That it
Thank
came
you.
full circle. That's like
It did. And-
like a wake up moment right there.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I'm thinking about it now. It's the first time I actually put that together. 128, and now we're at 128,000 sold. Look at God. Won't he do it? Come on. Look, won't he do it? Won't he do it? Don't get me over here. Y'all see what's going on here, right? I'm trying to make sure that, you know, they see that the game's tonight. Anybody know that game's tonight? Because that game is tonight. It's the Falcons, right?
It is the Falcons.
All right, who's your pick? Come on. Who's your pick?
Oh yeah, birds all the way.
Birds?
Birds all. Yeah, which bird, right?
Come on. That's right.
Eagles.
Eagles,
There's
okay.
only one bird. It's
There you go. 'Cause I thought I thought we was playing some birds.
I didn't think it took me a second to realize Atlanta's part of it too, but oh yeah, Eagles all the way.
Okay.
I gotta admit, I do like the Kirk Cousins story,
Okay.
but he can have his first victory next week.
And it won't be this week,
Yeah,
right?
not this week. I really hope. I just want to see Saquon do all the running and not Jalen. I don't want to see Jalen get hurt. Don't put too much on his shoulders. We got Saquon. Let him do the running. Jalen, you do the passing.
Yes, sir.
Don't put yourself in harm's way. Just distribute, and when it's not there, get it out of bounds or get down, or let's get to the next play. I just, he's such a competitor and did such a great job running it for all these years, but I hope he can learn not to.
Okay.
To keep him around for as long as possible.
Okay. Got you. Well, that sounds good. Well, I just want, I really want him to stay in the pocket for a little bit. It's early. Wouldn't it be nice to see him be able to stay in the pocket the whole half of the season and let everyone else do what they need to do?
It would be fantastic. And then also the other side of that is if he does drop back and he's in the pocket, he's got a nice pocket, and he can run, and if he does a couple runs a game, get down.
Okay.
I don't need you diving. I don't need you.
Well, see, that's my whole point, guys. I don't want him injured. I don't want him hurt. I want him to understand that he can. I want you guys just to follow this for me a little bit. You guys know I coach. I did a lot of coaching and things. But here's what I'm thinking, right? And you guys let me know what you think about this. If he can go the half of the season and study inside of the pocket, I mean, he can run when he absolutely needs to. But if he can study inside the pocket and see what his receivers and everyone else is doing, right, he's going to have such a better rhythm at the second half. Because when he starts to use his legs now, so he's using his mind, his brain, and he's looking out there and he's finding all these plays, right? He knows where people are going to be. But when he has to use his legs, right, he's going to be in such a better rhythm. I'd rather see this happen the last half than happen in the first half. Study what's going on out here. Understand your receivers. Know where they are. That whole connection, like we're connected. You're running down the field. I know your legs and still know where you're going to be.
I agree 1,000%. And my only worry with that is if he starts thinking about too much, I got to stay in the pocket.
Right.
Like, I don't mind. First half of the season, we drop a couple games because he's trying to stay in the pocket. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I'm just worried. I just don't want him to be in a situation where he's thinking about staying in the pocket and gets blindsided.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I definitely, absolutely, take the first half of the season and just get used to giving it to Saquon and everybody else.
Yep.
And don't take any hits. Don't take any hits. If it's wide open, well, yeah, run. But as soon as someone gets anywhere near you,
Yep. Go down.
down.
We don't want the injuries.
we had I went to prep school for a year and played football, and we had a quarterback from Pittsburgh,
Uh-huh.
and it was back Nautilus weight training
Okay.
had just come out,
Yeah.
and we had this quarterback from Pittsburgh. He was recruited by West Virginia as a junior, broke his collarbone before senior year, so they sent him to prep school to rehabilitate and just get another year because they had recruited somebody, so they wanted him to come in the next year. And he was our fastest, strongest, best athlete on the team. And as soon as the play broke down, his parents drove from Pittsburgh every week to the game. And if the play broke down, it was just, you could hear the coach and his parents screaming, "Get out of bounds, get out of bounds, get out of bounds." So I went to say for Jalen, if it breaks down, don't be thinking about staying in the pocket and getting blindsided. Keep your head on the swivel.
Right.
I would love to see him become a distributor. Game manager. Everybody has such a negative word.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard somebody talking about, was it Bill Belichick talking about Tom Brady was a game manager,
Okay.
because he made sure people were in the, he was a game manager, but he made sure you were doing your job and in the right spot and seeing what he saw to get open to get to play. What great runs did he ever make? Or
Well, he was a pocket guy, so.
right. And yeah, I get the beauty of a running quarterback, but it just I don't want them getting hurt, especially when we got Saquon.
Well, I was only talking about just first half of the season, because this is when you understand who you have. Preseason is a great time to play football, right? That's when we're thinning out the herd.
Right.
It's like, no, you're not. Nope, you're left tackle. Nope, you're not that good there. Let's try you over here, right? So now you have all your pieces, right? So the only time, I believe that you get in your best rhythm by playing a real game, under certain circumstances.
I agree with that.
You're in this game, you studied how the defense is going to come at you. You already know, right? And I know that blindsided thing that's for real. But his vision on the field is pretty good. I think sometimes he has eyes behind his head.
Well, let's take it a step further then. I'd rather first half of the season stay in the pocket and throw a couple balls up.
Okay.
We're not going to get on you for interceptions.
All right.
I'd rather see you get it out of your hand
Mm-hmm.
than be holding on to it for too long. So I'd even first half stay in the pocket, throw a couple up, 50-50 balls or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Throw a couple up, see where they go. I'd go as far as to say that if I'm going to tell them to stay in the pocket, I'm going to tell them throw the ball, get it out of your hands. If you get an interception, don't worry about it. We got your back.
Right.
We'll get it next time. Because again, if we're learning new skills, we're going to lose a couple of games.
That's right.
Take that out of the equation. Take not worrying about interceptions or whatever's.
Right.
Take them out of the equation. If it makes us get better for the second half,
Mm-hmm.
for when it matters.
That's when it matters, because our second half of football last year was terrible. First half, we're looking like everyone's talking Super Bowl. Look at them. They look great. And I'm going like, this looks like we're experimenting here. This doesn't look like, we're trying to do things. And everyone's, what do you mean it looks like we're experimenting? Does this look like what we did last year? There's something not clicking here.
Yeah, I don't want all those stupid runs. I don't want that stupid tush push. I know it's great that we don't have to worry about that extra one.
Well, when you had the right center.
And
I think.
throw that out the window. I was just watching ESPN as I was getting ready to come over here, and they're ripping the Ravens. They're like, you got Henry, and they're like, you didn't use him. Fourth quarter, 10-point lead. Fourth quarter, he gets the ball once, 6-yard run, and then they give it back to Lamar. And just to your point we're talking about now, they should be hiding Lamar for 6 months, because Lamar last year made it great strides with his pocket passing and staying in the pocket. So, now I agree with you. I think the first half of the year and distribute, especially with the weapons he has. I mean, A.J. Brown's out tonight, but hopefully that's not long term. But that's to your point too. Is we don't need him tonight. Tonight should be. I don't want to say it because we always lose the ones that we.
What you Gray say? Come on, don't say it if it's going to be one of those pieces that knocks us out the box tonight.
Exactly. That's why I'm not going to say it.
All right, we won't say it. We're gonna hold that one away. We're not going to do that because
we're not going to think that. We're going to tear him up. Devontae Smith's going to have a huge night, and then that kid that we got from Washington. He was a first rounder like 3 years ago, Dotson or something.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to show up and prove Washington. Well, prove him right for drafting him in the first round, and prove him wrong for not using him for 3 years.
All right, I'm gonna put you on the spot now. What do you think that score is going to be tonight?
The score tonight?
Yeah.
Well, it could be. Can I hedge my bet? I can't. I do like Kirk Cousins. I let that out of the bags.
Okay.
I'm a fan of him. I watch his story from a distance. I don't anything that closely, but he looked really stiff last week.
Okay.
Kirk Cousins did. He looked stiff as a board.
What do you think, like a hidden injury or something?
I think coming back from injury, new coordinator, new players, new system, he didn't look like himself, and they're saying that weren't running like his style.
Right.
Like the Falcons get him, and then want him to be a shotgun, which he hasn't been for his whole career. He's had a long career. He's made a ton of money, but he is what he is. He's whatever.
That's true.
Whatever
He is what he is.
whatever he needed to learn, he already learned it or isn't going to be able to learn it.
Right.
But he looked really stiff last week. So he could come out pretty good, and he could keep it close if we use Saquon like we should. It's also, unfortunately, maybe I've wagered or two on a few games, so I
Okay.
I understand trap games
Well,
and stuff. So it could, you saw all these upsets. and
Yeah.
These teams that should have, like, this is what I want to say a couple minutes ago.
Right.
We should destroy them tonight, based on what they played like last week. We played well. One, we still have stuff to build on.
Right.
If we fix our problems, they stay the same. It's 35-7. If it's a trap game, like we saw with everybody else, which we shouldn't, because we should be in it. So I'm going to hedge my bet and say I'm going to give them 17 and give us 28-7. 28-17.
28-17.
Correct.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty good. Because believe it or not, I was going to go 17-14, that we're going to beat them by 3. Because, we're at the link, and I think folks are going to start thinking that this is an easy game. And anytime it's an easy game, it becomes a close game. All right? Because, one, they feel like they have something, they don't have anything to lose but to win tonight. That's Atlanta, right? I mean, they're 0-1 right now, correct? So they need to be in the win column. And on the other hand, I would love to see our Eagles go 2-0. And then, take each game one at a time. So I'm going 17-14 for tonight. All right? So there it is, guys. It's on record for what we think the game's going to be like for tonight and how we are visualizing how things would absolutely go. And in some cases, they may and they may not. On any given football game, anything can happen. But what I love to do is absolutely talk food. So we're going to take another 5 minutes here. We're going to talk about the food, and we're going to end this podcast because we got a chance to eat some cheesesteaks. I had a chance to be with this guy. I love him so much. I appreciate him. And I'm sending a special shout out to my guy, Zogi. What's up, Zogi? Hope all is well with you. I know that we need to get some business in your direction. I know that Zogi is up on Miller Road today playing football. Did I get that right? 3600?
Wilmington.
What is it?
In Wilmington.
Yeah, in Wilmington, yep. In Wilmington. So he's 3600 Miller Road in Wilmington. That's North Wilmington. For those that are trying to get to him, that's where he is. And we want to send some support and love to him. Today was supposed to be the Bones and Zogi show today, but he was not available to do so. But I am so glad that my guy, Jim Pappas, he is here. He is the guy. He is the cheesesteak adventure guy. And, I get really excited, right, when I do that, right? I get excited. But he comes in with this shirt, right? Show him the shirt. Come on. You got to show this off. Come on. Show him the shirt and stuff. Look. I'm serious. Dude got a cheesesteak on his shirt, man. And look, he's got the Eagles thing going on here, right? He's got 62 with the cheese guy on there.
Got his Dallas Sucks hat on.
We're not going to talk about that too much, right? We got that.
You have too many Dallas fans as customers.
Look, hey guys, look, you see me laughing, and then with all seriousness, we get this one part where we have to say to my followers and folks that are out there, I hope that you are well. I am praying for each and every last one of you that God is continue to bless you in everything that you do. You know, and if there is something that you want to do different, why don't you just go and do it? You know, we're living in a life today that tomorrow it just isn't promised. And if you have a desire to do something different in your life, like for instance, go eat 1,100 cheesesteaks, right? And go eat 1,100 cheesesteaks like that guy right there, right? Because he did it. And in fact, let's do it again. 1,174.
74, yep.
1,174 different cheesesteaks. You know, for me, that's a whole lot of my size going up. Remember, I was 267 pounds at my heaviest. I'm down to 200 pounds, which is fine. If I had 1,100 cheesesteaks, I would be, what? 1,100 pounds easy, right? Because that cheesesteak will not want to go anywhere except to my sides and my belly. But this guy right here, he looks good for someone that's eating that much. Now, he's been on all of the networks, and in fact, I've been able to follow behind him because some of the networks that I've gone to that had us said, yeah, we heard about this cheesesteak, you know, and I'm going like, well, how'd you hear about it? Either from, right, or some other people. So it's gotten me to, New York, Philly, Maryland, D.C., and I even went viral over in the UK, which is a beautiful thing. But I want to tell you that those kind of things happen, you know, they're blessings. But see, it takes someone that just to believe in and to understand what it is that he likes and to spread that news. And when the news is good, it tends to go the distance, right? So that good news traveled, and we are at 128,000 sold, almost 129,000. Folks are going to ask, what am I going to do at 130,000? I know we did something at 125,000. Right, where somebody won a whole bunch of money. All right, so we'll probably do it again when we hit 130. Yeah, you heard it here. But yep. So getting down to the end of this, again, I want to thank my guy right here, Jim. That I get to reach over where you can see me. Thank him very much for coming through. Why don't you take a minute and let folks know what you're doing, where they can get this shirt at, or how they can support what you're doing right now. Just pull that mic up a little closer to you because I don't want them to miss it.
I've gotten back to my roots, back to eating cheesesteaks pretty regularly. I started to close the Cheesesteak Life. Have Mr. Cheesy, everybody's favorite cheesesteak mascot. He's out being cheesy. Then also have him in different settings. Have him being a Cheesy Eagle fan. Have him at the beach. Have him dressed up like Ben Franklin, and have him barbecuing. But the clothes are, you know, shorts, track pants, sweatshirts. It's amazing what you can do with the internet these days. I think I'm going to go out on a limb. Mm-hmm. I think the internet's here to stay. I'm not sure, but I think it is. But I have Cheesesteak Stories podcast. That's something I'm really going to sink. That's something I'm going to sink my teeth into. Food pun. Thank you very much, drum roll. But Cheesesteak Stories podcast. 1,100 cheesesteaks. I've been lucky enough to invite it to do a lot of stuff, so I've been telling my story, and for some reason, people are getting tired of hearing my story. I don't know why.
Oh, I'm not tired.
I think I'm great, but so we started the Cheesesteak Stories podcast, where I get to hear other people's stories.
Oh, okay. I see
And
where
get
you're
to,
going.
what they started, what their favorite cheesesteak is, who got them started eating
Right.
cheesesteaks, and that's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. It's wide range, far and wide of people's cheesesteaks experience. As I got closer to 1,000 cheesesteaks, I invited.
That's right. I did see some folks. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was fun, and it's funny it's interesting to see who wants to come out and have a cheesesteak with the cheesesteak guys. So it's been a good time. We're going to reinvent that, and and I got my little buddy the cheesesteak cup, and we have a lot of fun together. And it's
Bring that cup. Well, the cup's in it. It's right there. I can see it.
he
It's right there in there. So
people people have to talk to the guy that walks into the bar with the trophy. So it's been a lot of fun having him around, and we're going to get him out there and drink some beers and meet people and talk cheesesteaks.
well, that's awesome. It's awesome. And for each and every last one of you that are with me right now, thank you so much for taking this ride with us. Conversation. A little less of the other stuff that's going on right now. We were eating ribeye. We weren't eating pets. Oh, did I say that? We were eating ribeye. So sending you guys some love. May God continue to bless you and yours. This is Chef Bones saying that when you get home, you're gonna eat some tender bones, even though I can't sing as much as I used to, guys. I love you. And from my guy, Jim, it's going to say goodbye to you. There's his wave. And guess what, guys? This has been another great one. All right. Look forward to you guys picking, choosing, doing whatever you're going to do here. Maybe I'll look for some sound bite.